So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Like I said, we know people are probably trying to get out of Dodge for Labor Day weekend. Today's webinar, we're going to talk about demoing for the customer experience. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks to nail that customer demo. Anthony's going to be my Vanna. So Anthony, if you'd like to go to the next slide. There we go. So everyone, if you don't know me, I'm Jamie. I'm the Partner Solutions Manager here at RingLogix, and I have the fabulous Anthony Ginta here with me today. So for those of you who don't know him, he's one of our Partner Success Managers. He takes partners mostly on the East Coast. It was kind of scattered all around for a while, but we tried to get a little method to our madness. So Anthony now, any new partner that's onboarding that's on the east of the Mississippi, he manages, and then he has some partners all over the country too, based on, when we rearrange things. But Anthony is a pro at customer demo, so he's going to help me with this webinar today. We've both done a million of them, but he does them a ton. So Anthony, if you want to say hi, I'll give you a little second to say hi.
Hello, everybody. This is my first webinar here at RingLogix, so I am excited. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but I know my way around, and hopefully at the end of this webinar, everyone, enjoys it. And then all my partners reach out to me. We can have a personal one, but I look forward to this one, and hopefully everyone learns something.
Yeah, and it is his first one, so we're going to be kind. He's not nervous though. We practiced a couple times, so he's got it down. So all right, cool. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for helping me out today. And Gabriella will be popping in, gang, our marketing manager, but she's a little late, so just ignore her when she joins. Okay, so you might hear her barge through the door, you might say. So today's agenda. So why should you demo for a customer, right? We're going to talk about features and benefits versus pricing. We're going to talk about feature dumping and how to avoid the feature dump. We want you guys to set yourself up for success. So we're going to talk about how you do that. Knowing your audience, right? So knowing the people that you're going to be giving demos to is important when you're considering your process. We're gonna, of course, play a little show and tell, right? So we're going to show you some things, tell you about them. But the first thing on our agenda is why. Like, why do you even care? Why are you here, right? Demoing is huge for winning deals, right? So that's why you want to be here. It's going to help you win more deals. Owning your overall customer experience. I really love the term, and I know you guys have heard me say it a lot, customer experience, because I think about PBXs differently, because I'm kind of, I'm half sales and half technical. So I have that blend of both. I like to think of it as the experience. It's just a cooler term. It's warmer, and it's the best of both worlds. We want to solve customer pain points, right? We want to find out what's bothering them, what we can do to help them, and how these PBXs that we build for them can make their life easier. It's going to lead you to have more confidence in your sales, right? So demos and that acceptance, I have big buy-in. You're very confident about that sale. And at the end of the day, if you find out everything that your customer wants and you get over all those obstacles in the beginning, it's going to lead to customer retention, right? You're going to retain that customer for longer because they're happy and they don't want to leave you or go somewhere else. So those are the whys. But fun fact about demoing, right? And this is a real statistics. This is not some bullshit that Jamie made up, right? I promise you. I Googled it. Statistics show that demoing a product or service results in a higher closing rate, right? And that's what we want to do today with you. We want to teach you how that's done. When somebody can have some ownership, right, to a product or a service and see it in their own perspective and how it would help them, it's gonna help you close, and you're gonna have that higher closing rate. Features and benefits versus price, right? Most of you on here might know this about me. Some of you might not. I was in the wireless industry for 25 years, and I learned a lot about feature and benefit selling. I took a million trainings on it. I'm sure everyone on this call probably has in the past too. I hate selling on price. I sell on features, benefits, and personality, right? If somebody likes me, they're more apt to buy from me. And then if I can solve problems for them, that's even better. Usually price doesn't become that big of an obstacle. But, features at the end of the day are found in every product and service, but if you don't know what they are, they're simply put, they're the elements that make something unique, right? They can be bells and whistles that stand out. They can be services that lead to business, that the business offers. And the benefits of the features are the rewards that we receive when we take action, okay? Or make choices that lead to positive outcomes, right? Benefits are like the feel goods. So when a customer recognizes potential benefits of their choices, those people can make more informed decisions and it leads them to that like higher sense of fulfillment, like not getting too spiritual on you or anything, but whether it's small or big, right? So it's a small gain or a significant milestone. The benefit a customer receives is a reminder that their efforts and choices led to like a positive outcome. So that's kind of like a little snippet. Price is price, right? We're not going to really talk about price. We're going to talk about the features and benefits. So when you're selling a PBX and you're getting into this demo process, right? You're typically showing a customer user scopes. That's how you show them features. So basic user scope, the features of it is it's the main scope that's typically assigned to users. So learning how to demo this is really important in your sales process. Basic users have most access to most of the features of our platform. So they can get mobile apps, web phones, attendant consoles. When you give them the ability to log into the portal or you're showing this in a demo, the basic user can manage their own extension and their own settings, and they can also view their own call history. So a benefit to a user is that they have the ability to launch key user tools for ease and convenience in their life while they're using their phone system. It allows them mobility and allows them flexibility, right? When you can manage something on your own, you get to be flexible. When you can launch a web phone or a mobile app from a portal, it gives you mobility, right? That those work from home scenarios that we all, we saw a lot of it during COVID and a lot of it's been adopted even post COVID. So that's some notable features and benefits of a basic user scope. Now, our office manager scope, right? It's our most powerful scope on the PBX that a user can have besides you guys as administrators. So an office manager has all the basic user privileges, plus they're granted the organization's main PBX settings, right? They can access all the things. So they can add and edit features, auto attendance, call queues, timeframes. Office managers can also view and edit all their users, so they can control like users as well. But the benefit for an office manager scope at an organization, especially like the owner or IT support, they can become self-sufficient. So this type of person can be trained to manage their own PBX and their users in their PBX, which makes them happy that they don't have to make phone calls every time they want to do something. Now, I know some partners might disagree with that because they're like more of a white glove service and they want to do everything. But you're going to find, especially like IT support, they want to do it all themselves. So there's some note that's on office manager scoping. I left out call center supervisor and call center agent just because we're kind of focusing. That's a very specific demo that we can always help you with later. So feature dumping, right? Anthony, how many partner demos have we gotten on, right, with a partner? And they're like, they just go ham, right?
Hundreds,
And
probably,
yeah,
yeah.
and they just dump. They tell the customer every feature that's in the feature list in the knowledge base, right? Which is awesome. I'm glad the partner can do that. But Anthony and I have been on demos where you start to see the customer's eyes glaze over and they're like, they start to lose interest because they're like, what are we talking? Like, this has nothing to do with me and what I want, right? So feature dumping, it's when you go into your sales consult, your consultation, and you tell your prospect everything that there is to know, right? We don't want to do that. A sales process, having an actual sales process, is the opposite of using hope as a strategy. Like, I hope I win this customer. I hope this demo goes well. We want you to have a roadmap that you can follow to get a prospect to say yes. But it's going to involve some things, right? Pre-planning, right? Or maybe a call, a needs analysis with that customer. It goes beyond quoting even, right? Identifying that customer's pain points and then being able to present like a specific solution to that customer. So this is what we're trying to get you guys to build in a demo. We want it to be part of your strategic sales process, presenting a specific solution to that customer, not just avoiding, not just feature dumping. And, the ways you can avoid feature dumping is, a little bit of what we saw on the previous slide, knowing your customer's pain points. What's the problem that they're trying to solve, right? A lot of times customers, PBXs can solve lots of problems that sometimes customers didn't even know they had. And a lot of it's just usually to do with employees, but sometimes a good phone system does solve an employee problem. Not every day, but sometimes. Asking your customer questions that have open dialogue, right? You want to be conversational with it. You guys, most of you have probably went through some sort of onboarding with one of us, or maybe even me or somebody at RingLogix at some point. During your onboarding process, especially your hosted PBX day, I ask very specific questions because I'm building sometimes it's partner's first HQ account or their HQ account. But like one big question that I always ask is, you could have your dream PBX and your inbound call flow. Like, what would you want it to be? That's an open dialogue question. You can't say yes or no to me to that question. You have to like speak and tell me what you want. But that's the same thing you want to do with your customers, and you maybe have to water down your terminology. You can't say like, do you want an auto attendant or do you want this? They might not know what it is and they don't want to, talk to you about it because they don't want to appear like unintelligent. So you got to kind of do it in layman's terms. And one thing that's really, really important is taking notes during your conversation. And we'll talk about that in a minute, why we take notes. Because there's a very specific statement that you can say that will almost like kind of seal the deal a little bit. Okay. So that's how we avoid feature dumping. So Anthony's going to get into setting the stage here. So I'm going to turn it over to him. But here you go. And then he's going to talk about some things we just talked about too.
All right, thank you, Jamie. So I'm going to bounce back and forth here. I'm going to show you my demo PBX as well. So just bear with me when we go back and forth. But yeah, setting the stage, right? You want to be prepared. And the more prepared you are, the better you look, not only to your customer, but the more ready you are in general, where if somebody calls up out of the blue, you can say, okay, let me give you a demo. You can do it on spot. So having different variety and different ways to approach it is only going to help you down the road, and you're going to learn the product that much better. So having a pre-configured demo PBX set up, ready for you to deliver at any time is going to be perfect. Now, customization should be done, as Jamie mentioned before, on that call that you have. The more information you get from them, the better it's going to be for yourself to set yourself up for not only success, but to make them happy and to have them feel that, oh, okay, I'm in your shoes, I'm using your product. Oh, wow, this is my experience. I like this, right? So based on what they told you is what you're going to show them, right? How can I maybe better your current, call flow, if you will? Jamie mentioned a great thing. What is your dream PBX? What does that mean? Well, they don't know. What is your dream call flow? Oh, well, I don't know. You call my main number. Okay, that's fine. But then what happens? Oh, well, it just rings my cell phone, or it just rings, my main line that I have. Okay, do you have like anything that says, like a bank, hey, welcome for, thanks for calling PNC Bank or anything like that? No, I don't have anything like that. Would you like something like that? Now you're starting that conversation and you're getting them thinking, oh, wow, I didn't even know this existed. I can do that. And then you start showing everything that you can do, and then you're wowing them and making them feel more comfortable. Which leads us to, why is it important, right? By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Everyone knows Ben Franklin, right? We want to be prepared. We want to be ready for whatever is thrown at us. The more sales, the better. We are here to help you succeed, so let us help you. All right, so now this starts the back and forth. So I'm going to go to my PBX here.
And yeah, Anthony brings up a good point. Like he's going to teach you how to build a demo account, and a lot of our partners too. If you're comfortable with it, I will always recommend that if you have like an in-house HQ account, you can use that and set up the scenario though with different features like auto attendance to show a customer, but it really shows ownership, like that, I not only am I selling this to you, but I use this and then I created this on my own account to show you what it's like, So if you're uncomfortable having, just a spare demo account laying around, a lot of partners will utilize their own like HQ accounts to do this type of demonstration.
And another bonus to that, Jamie, is the pre-setup that I'm about to get into, where you can sit back and if you're constantly using, you're having incoming calls both ways, you have all that data there. So when you get to that call history, it's already there, so you don't have to worry about it. Where if you are doing a demo account, like I'm going to show you today, you have to make some fake calls, right? You have to get that flow back and forth. So it just saves you a little bit of time as well. All right, so we created my account, right? Anthony's test PBX. We all know what this looks like, right? This is the setup for the PBX. Just want to highlight, you can add one user. If you're doing a demo, you can add two. It's up to you guys. I have a bunch on here because I've been doing this for a while, right? And I have different scopes and stuff like that. But don't worry about it. Don't feel pressured that you need to do that. One or two should suffice, and you guys shouldn't have to worry about anything like that. So you get one. I'd recommend always having one as an office manager, first and foremost. Now let's hop into the PBX dashboard. And then this is where what Jamie was talking about is understanding what the customer's needs are, what their pain points are, what that call flow is, how can you better their experience and make them feel comfortable, right? So when you come in here, obviously we have our homepage. Okay, let's talk about the setup. How are we going to set this up for them to come in here, you give that demo, and boom, they're wowed, right? The first thing I would do, let's talk about the scenario we have. We have Tony's Auto Body, okay? Let's say this is the call that Jamie had with him. He's a one-man shop. He does it all. He takes the sales calls. He does the work himself. He does everything. Well, let's say Tony, the way he has it routed now is they call his main number and he picks up his desk phone and boom, he's taking that call. And if he's, in the shop, he's not able to take that call. It goes to his voicemail where then he can call them back. That's his setup now. He's not technical by any means. He just wants it to work and that be the end of the day. You could come in there and say, okay, what about this? Would you like to look like you're a bigger company? Meaning, why don't we set up an auto attendant? And within that auto attendant, we can have different dial pad menu buttons where we can say, hey, and here's an example, right? And I just did the text to speech option. Hello, thanks for calling Tony's Auto Body Shop. Please press 1 for body repair, 2 for glass repair, 3 for rim repair, 4 for any other inquiries, and then 5 to repeat this message, right? Something very simple, but it makes his company look like, oh, he has all these different departments. They may be bigger than a one-man shop, which is fantastic. He's going to love it. I wouldn't see him being upset about it. Let's put it that way. So let's set that up that way. So we'll set this up just like that. Now, thing I would always, and we'll get into this next, and I'm probably going to repeat myself, but the thing I love when it's a scenario like this is our caller ID prefix. I think this is huge. That I don't know if partners are taking advantage of it when they are doing demos or when they are setting up clients, on the platform. Is you take advantage of this call center prefix, or use this, right? Because, for example, if somebody clicks one, okay, so Tony, the call comes in, somebody clicks one, Tony can look at his desk phone or mobile app, whatever it may be, and he'll see body repair. So he knows how to answer that phone call. Same thing if it was, number three, which is rim repair. He knows, hey, somebody's calling me, they got a screwed up rim, they scuffed it, going into a Taco Bell. I've done it before. I'm not going to lie. I was not happy because it was an Audi, and Jamie, those are like 500, $600. So yeah, I've been there. So just understanding what that's like is going to help you. And then they can then say, oh, I'm going to answer this call. It's a rim repair. I know what to say. I have an idea what they're going to call me about. Right. So going over that with them, setting that up internally beforehand is crucial. Then we have our call queues, right? In order to make all this, flow, we have to have our 4 different call queues in this scenario. Ring All, he's a one-man shop. So we have him in every single one, right? We get that all squared away. Then we set up our time frames. Right now, I just have our default time frame, so catch all time frame. So no matter what time you call, it's going to hit that auto attendant. If they have music on hold, fantastic. If you want to add some music on hold, you can get that set up. You can always ask them. It doesn't need to be, there, but down the line, if they decide to come to us, sure, let's add that for them. Give them that
But a small
experience.
body shop might like advertisements with
Yeah.
their
Yep.
what they do while somebody's on hold. So it's like prepping it to be personalized.
Exactly. That's the whole point. I love that. Phone numbers. I have 4 in here. You only need 1. For example, let's use the top one here. So that's the main number that we're going to use. Call comes in, hits our lovely auto attendant, which is Tony's auto attendant, and boom, that's how the call flow starts, and that's where it goes. Then we got our phones. As you'll see here, here's my desk phone. I don't have it set up. No worries. But again, if we ever wanted to get something set up, this is where you would look to make sure that it is registered if you were doing a live demo, let's say. If I come over
Yeah,
here,
and
yep,
gang, that's really like Anthony brought up a really good point. It's super powerful to have spare hardware that you could take, especially if you're doing an in-person demonstration where you could plug it right in and make an immediate phone call, like, with an auto attendant that has a greeting that's your customers. I mean, it's crazy. Even when I build HQ accounts for new partners on onboarding day 3, people think it's so cool that like literally as soon as you apply treatment to that phone number, like we pick it up and call it and we route it to an attendant. Like it works like I mean, it's just super powerful. People are really wowed by it. And if people in our own industry are wowed by it, just imagine like what a average, customer that's not in the like telco space would think. So
no, thank you, Jamie. That's a good point. Very good point. Now, the last one, our call history. So this goes back to Jamie's point when I first got in here is you can use your HQ account that we got set up for you, right? To not only show that you're using the system that you're trying to sell, but it also gives you an advantage of doing fake calls, right? To get data in here. So you'll automatically have your data in here. If not, you are going to have to do what I did. As you can see, I dialed in, I dialed out, this all from my cell to the numbers back and forth. But just having this data there, because what you're going to want to show them over here is you can run, if you have call recording, I recommend turning it on for your demo because it's another added value that you bring to them. Now, does Tony necessarily need it for his auto body shop? Probably not. But if it's a different scenario, a different customer, they have different needs, I would definitely show it off because they can not only listen to the call, but they can download the call and they can take it and learn from it. If they have a big sales team, whatever it is, they can use it as an example. So I always when you are setting up the PBX, to turn it on. If you don't want to, no sweat off your back, right? Just say it's available feature, then you can turn it on when you turn them up going live. Now that's setting up the PBX. So now we're going to hop back into our lovely slide deck. So bear with me here.
yeah, so that's how you guys set this up. And, depending on your level of like comfortability, like you can show your customers how you set up PBXs. That was more for you, like how we would set up like a demo for like our scenario. If you're willing to share that, it's pretty cool how you guys build PBXs, but that was more just for you. That's not typically what you're going to actually be demonstrating. That's going to be like the pre-work that you're going to put into it.
Behind the scenes after that first
Yep.
call to make it customizable. Exactly. All right. So knowing your audience, right? So who are you giving this demo to? Is it somebody that's technical? If so, what are the things that they really care about? Well, they want to know about redundancy. Is it easy to use, easy to manage? What's the quality like? And maybe they're interested in some CRM integrations. Let's look over at an administrator. The ability to manage users. They can access all the PBX features, right? It's self-service. Maybe they want to be interested in some CRM integrations, right? Same as the technical side. Or maybe just tracking workflow. Maybe it's a sales manager that wants to understand, who's making phone calls. Are they coming in, out? Who's on the phone the most? You never know, right? So we can do all that on the administrator side. And if it's the user, right? That we give them the tools to make everything work and to make it easier for them, right? It's very easy to use. It's convenient, customizable, and they're the mobility feature, right? They don't need to be in the office to accept phone calls. You got your web phone and not your web phone, but your mobile phone, right? And we'll go over that in the user demo, the basic user demo. So that's knowing your audience. Now, let's take a deeper dive in the office manager scope. The main highlights here: you can manage your users. You manage all the PBX features, right? Your call history access for the whole company-wide. You can get call reporting for your call history, the ability to feature all your call history for everybody in the company, access to call recordings, and you also have your own basic user access. Screenshot of what it looks like. I'm sure everyone on this call understands what the office manager scope looks like. If not, here you go. This is in our knowledge base as well, so you got a screenshot. But I'm going to take you in there right now to review how I would position this if I was talking to somebody that wanted that office manager scope.
Plus, we love a good screenshot around here.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do. You especially.
Right, and me especially for
Yes.
sure.
So here we are, right? We're in the customer creation. Let's pretend that we weren't here, right? I'm going to log out. This goes back to the customer experience. Put them in the shoes of, this is my demo. This is me learning how to do it. You have them go to login.zip login on that. Obviously, it's going to be tailored to whatever you guys have as your
branded domain.
Yep, your domain. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pretend I'm extension 101 at Tony. I'm going to put my password in. I'm going to launch it. So this is me logging in. Obviously, you're going to have the company logo here for yourself. Now, when I look here, okay, first thing I want to focus on is the homepage. So tell them, hey, any current call that is currently being made will show up here. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. You can get real in depth with it. I'm going to be honest with everybody. I'm doing a very high level overview. If I was giving this, I'd maybe go a little bit more granular than what I'm going to. But at the end, we'll talk about how to get in contact with me or Sean, and we can have those personalized conversations, and we'll go over demo building and preview, whatever you guys want to do. But anyway, back to this. If I scroll down, right, our call graph, we can show when the peak amount of calls were being made. We can even search by hour, even down to the minute if we wanted to. And then on the right-hand side, I'd show them, hey, these are all the users that you have right now for yourself, all the devices that are loaded onto the system, then all the stats, right? So all the usage, whether it was this month or last month, how many calls were made, all the fun stuff. So that's just a quick glance for, the homepage. Now, what I would do is I'd kind of just go right on the line. So the first thing I would say is, hey, you click on the user tab. Here's your users. So this is everyone that is in your company that you can manage. So if you want to look at somebody, you can always click into their settings and go from there. Next one, the auto attendant. I would say if you are going to give them access to this scope, they have the ability to make changes. Now, we all know you may not want to give this access to somebody, or they may not even want to touch it, which is fine. But just show them, hey, this is there if you ever wanted to mess around with it. I don't recommend it if you don't know what you're doing, but this is how we have it set up. And then I would do the same scenario that we did before. Hey, this is how we have your auto attendant set up, right? Go over the 5 options that we have, explain how that works. I definitely explain the 5 buttons that we created for them. For sure, show them the call prefix, explain how that works. Hey, if they click 1, your phone's going to say body repair, so you know how to answer that phone call. Okay, that would be what I would show for the auto attendant, right? Then you have to build your call queue. So explain what a call queue is. It's essentially the button. If they were to click something, you could have multiple agents within that call queue, right? But in this scenario, body, general questions, glass, or rim repair. It could be a different one with maybe sales, support, whatever it may be. You don't necessarily need to go into detail of how to show them, what kind of type that is. Work with them, see what they currently use today, whether it's a RingOS strategy or maybe like a round robin, whoever hasn't been on the phone the longest, tiered round robin. I believe there's like 6 or 7 of them that we can choose. And we have all the knowledge base articles that explain what each type is and how they work. Get myself involved. I'm happy to, sit down with you and discuss each one individually and help you set them up ultimately, right? And then we can come over here. If they ever want to add an agent, you could show them how to add an agent. Same thing here, different options that you can add to that call queue. Timeframes, whatever you set up on that pre-existing, test demo or your account is going to show all the timeframes that you currently have. Same with music on hold, right? Show them, hey, we can add music on hold for whatever you would like. And as long as you get that recording, we're good to go. Phone numbers, show them, hey, here are all the phone numbers that you have for your company. They're all routed, the way that you want it to be routed. For example, you have your one number here. It's routed to that auto attendant, which gives you those 5 options. Tony's happy, right? That's all he cares about. Good to know. Phones. Now, this is going to show you all of the phones, all the hard phones that are for your individual users or your company, if you want to look at it that way. So every phone that is in would show up here. And then your call history. This is going to show you your company call history. It's going to show you the name. So if you have 5 employees, it's going to show everyone that is, actively on the phones. You can filter that. I'd show them that feature. Always, always, always talk about the recording part. If they're interested in call recording, fantastic. If they're not, that's fine as well. Just a reminder, for call recording, it is done on device level, right? So it's not on the user level itself. It's either the call queue or the device. And what I did here, just so everyone sees this, is I made some test calls on my web phone before I activated call recording. So as you can see, if you don't have that active, I can't click anything here. But I did turn it on and make some other calls where now I can download that and listen to them. Just another feature that you can, always talk about. And if they ever want to export it, boom, they can always do that. So that would be how I would present the Office Manager scope. And you can get as detailed as you want, depending on who you're talking to. If they're really heavily invested, or if there's somebody like Tony where he doesn't really care how it's set up, but it's good to know, you could go that route. I'm going to slide back here to our slide deck.
And if anybody has questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. We are monitoring questions in the chat, and we'll have a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, let us know.
All right. So unlike the Office Manager scope, the Office Manager scope, the basic user scope has its own highlights, right? They can go into their mobile app. They have access also to their progressive web app, which we're going to show in a little bit. They can do a tenant console, so that's good for like a receptionist. You can set your answering rules. You have the ability for voicemail management, as well as access to your own call history. Lovely screenshot. We love screenshots here at RingLogix. Here you go. Let's get into it. So now I'm going to come back here. I'm going to pop back in here. Make sure I click on the right one. All right. So here I am. The cool part about this is I can click on my name and I can go to my account. And now I am a basic user. So I don't need to log out and go to another user that I made, a basic user. I can stay here and I'll be perfectly fine. If I want to get back into the office manager view, just come up here and click on manage organization and boom, I'm there. So now that I'm here, right, this is the basic user, which majority of the demos that you do are probably going to be surrounding the basic user, just because the majority of the people are going to want that, and nobody really wants to handle the office manager if they, could care less. So if we're looking here, the first thing I want to do is kind of the same that I did before. Go over the home page with them. Hey, when I log in, I get my home page. This is going to show me all of my new voicemails that I have. As you can see here, I have 2 of them. They were left back on the 25th of May. I can click here to call that number back. Same thing here. I got 2 buttons for that. I can forward this voicemail. Let's say they wanted to leave it for Jamie, but for whatever reason, they couldn't get a hold of Jamie. They were able to get to my mailbox, get forwarded over to Jamie. If I wanted to download it, I can download the voicemail. If I wanted to save it, I can do that. And then everyone's favorite, we can click the delete button, handle that later. Okay, that's the voicemail. If I scroll down, the call history. So you have your blue and your green. There are red ones, which is a missed call. I should have probably had one of those on there, so I'll take the blame on that one. But this is just going to show you your recent call history at a quick glance on the main page. Right-hand side, this is your active answering rule. Right now, I have it set to my default, which is ring all, meaning ring every single device simultaneously. Now, from this part, my go-to is always coming up here to the apps and launching the web phone. So when you launch that web phone, it's gonna pop up here for you. For the sake of demoing, let's make this guy big, right? So here we go. Let's make it the full screen. Always show that.
Anthony, Anthony, for some reason we're not seeing that. I wonder if it's the way that the screen is shared. Is it on a different screen?
Interesting. What about now?
No, it's like
You don't see any web phone.
no.
Huh. Let me try
Probably
to do it again.
it's
Here,
probably the Zoom webinar thing.
let me try to do it one more time. What about now?
No,
Wow, that's crazy.
invisible.
And it's showing up on my end too. Okay. So what should I do for this?
What
Just
are you sharing just a specific screen? Or are you sharing the whole
it should be the screen.
yeah, but is it like your whole computer screen? Like there's usually 2 options.
Oh, you know what? I think you are right. Give me 1 second. Good idea.
I usually am. I am a woman.
Uh,
I'm usually
all right. Hang on there. Yep, you're right. Okay. Good call. So here we are. I clicked on
there
the
you
web
go.
phone. I made it real big. Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
So when I get to the web phone, we'll make it real big for them. Let them see what we got going on. We mentioned the progressive web app. To download that, it's up here at the top right. Okay. I didn't download it purposely, so everyone knows where to go to do that. RingLogix University, Jamie's baby, shows you exactly where to go, shows you how to download it, but quick ease of use. This is where you go, and this is how you would install it, and you'd be good to go.
And the
Now,
difference, gang, just
go
real
ahead.
quick, is that what Anthony is showing you is like the browser-based web phone, right? So you close this browser tab, phone closes. When you install the progressive web app, it makes it very desktop-like, right? So it would appear as an icon on your desktop, and when you minimize it, it just goes to the bottom of your toolbar. So when you get a call, it would refresh immediately. So it's just a different way of using the web phone, just so everybody knows.
Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
So once you go over the progressive app, I'm going to come down here to the bottom right-hand side and click on the plus sign. First one is showing them how to make a phone call. Now I can type it in, right? If I want to do that, I can always come in here and type in a number that way. Or I could just click on a recent one. So right now, I'm dialing my cell phone number. I would show them how this works. I would answer that call. I'm going to put it on mute just so nobody gets feedback. I don't know if they would or not, but essentially in here, I would explain every single thing that you could do from the web phone. You could add another call. You could switch it to your desk phone, whatever you want to do. I'd show them all that, but show them really how easy it is to make a phone call. Okay. Now, if I reverse that and I call this number and I click 1, because we all know that that's one of the call queue options from the auto attendant. You can see it ringing. I can then answer that call. Let me mute both sides. Okay. And now I do the same thing. Show them all the features that you can do here, how easy it is to accept the call.
Yeah, and you can also show them the caller ID prefix, which is
Yep.
cool because it's got the body repair right there. So that, inbound calls stated that, I mean, and that can help a small business owner, especially like prioritize calls that they take. I mean, not that I want to say like billing isn't important or something, but maybe a sales call takes precedence over like a billing call or, maybe something like that.
Absolutely. All right. Now, also from the web app, you can start a conversation or use SMS. So if you do have SMS enabled, or you want to just have a conversation with Jamie, right, one of your counterparts, you could come in here and select her name or type it in, whatever you would like to do, or the phone number, and click the check mark, and boom, you can start that conversation. So that's another area that you can do it. You can start a conversation internally or externally with the web phone. I'm going to breeze through these high overview. If you want to get granular with it, you can. Your contacts, right? You can toggle based on your favorites, your coworkers, who's online, who's offline. You can also add a contact here. Your call history, right? So this is my personal call history in and out. My lovely voicemails, right? If I click on it, I have the same options I went over before. Chat and SMS. Any conversation that I have had internally or externally would show up here that are ongoing or completed. If there's a park call, I can see that here, or if I want to park a call, I can do that. My own answering rules. Right now I have it set to default, but I can always toggle that in and move this up for business hours if I wanted to. And if I want to, personalize it, I can always add my own greeting for my voicemail. And that's where you could do that as well. And then we have our lovely settings, right? Your audio and all that fun stuff. But that's the gist of it, right? So that's the web phone. I would absolutely show the web phone the first thing you do outside of that. Now, Jamie, are you seeing the
Yeah,
basic?
we're seeing
Okay, perfect.
we're seeing it. Good.
Okay, so
And
I didn't need to.
if you want to do the mobile app and you're not in a in-person meeting, because obviously the mobile app you'd have it downloaded on your own phone. If you have an iPhone, and you're doing a Zoom meeting for a demo, you can actually plug up your cable and share your phone screen, which is pretty sweet. So a couple demos that I've helped partners do via like a Zoom meeting, we were able to show them the mobile app by sharing the phone screen, which was kind of cool too. Just a little fun fact.
That's a great idea. I've never done that one yet. I haven't had the opportunity, but I'm going to take that one for the next time, Jamie. So thank you for that one.
You're welcome.
And then we can just run through these, right? So we have our messages, all of our voicemails. We went over this already in the web app, but another spot here if you don't want to open up the web app. Same with chat and SMS, right? You can start a new conversation. Our contacts page, right? We can import, export contacts. We can add another contact in here as well. Our own personal answering rules. As I mentioned, I have it right now set to simultaneous ring, which is my web phone and my desk phone or whatever devices you have attached to yourself. You can always add them if you wanted to. Same thing with time frames. Let's say I know I'm going to be out of town and I wanted to create, a travel time frame. I can always create that. You can show them how to do that. Phones, as Jamie mentioned, you can do it the way she said it, or you can come here to Snap Mobile and they can, obviously they're not going to want to do this, but you can show them how easy it is to do. They literally, depending on Apple or Android, take their phone in the picture, the camera view, download whichever one they have, and then you put in your information and you're off and running, ready to go. And once you do that, you'll be able to see the Snap Mobile will pop up with the web WP next to your extension number, and you'll know that you're active and ready to go. This is going to also show you in this section all of your phones that you have registered to yourself. Music on hold. So if I want to do any music on hold for myself, I can add that. Same thing with my voicemail and my messages. And then lastly is our call history. So this is just showing myself, right? I'm the basic user. Show them, hey, these are all the calls that were made in the past couple days. I can filter out if I want to look back last week, whatever it may be. A cool feature that I don't think gets utilized enough, especially in like a sales environment, is let's say this number is one of my customers, or I'm trying to prospect them, or I talk to them all the time, but I just don't have their number saved. I can always come over here and click add to contact and put in that person's name and put in their information. So that way I don't have to go, looking for their number every time. I would have it saved in my contacts and just be able to click them and call them. I can always export it as well. But yeah, I mean, that's the gist of how I would, push the basic user. Again, I mentioned this probably 3 times. This is a very high level overview. So don't worry, if we're not going into anything. I would get more into them if those are the pain points, or, you should hone in on them when you want to, do your demo, if there's specific things that they're looking for that maybe they're not getting today.
Yeah, and we like feature dumped on you guys a little bit, but the intention is that like what Anthony showed you everything, but like if you have a customer that doesn't have call queues, then you wouldn't show call queues. You know what I mean? If it was an auto attendant that just went to a user and you use the call, that's what you would highlight. You wouldn't have a need to go into the queuing strategies really if like that wasn't a preference of the customer or something they needed. So
Yeah, a lot of it, like you said, Jamie, is all about that pre-call and understanding what they're trying to do, and if they're open to learning maybe a different way to route their calls.
yeah, personalization. Yeah.
Yep, you got it. All right. So how to, get more granular with it, how to schedule time. You can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Sean. A couple different ways to do that. You can obviously pick up the phone, call me, email me, or you can email success@ringlogix.com. That's going to go to a general mailbox that we have shared. Then we'll take over the appropriate contact. Or you can submit a ticket to Partner Success. Same thing will happen. Jamie will assign it to whoever it needs to go to, and then we can schedule some time and get that ball rolling.
And depending on your comfort level, we've actually given demos like with partners, like where we lead the demos until you're comfortable with it. Like I said, it just depends on how you want to explain who we are. A lot of partners will ask us to do it because they're not totally comfortable yet. When you guys win, we win. So we always want to help you. You can say we're your vendor support. You can, so we'll turn off our screens. We won't even do it. We won't keep our RingLogix up there. I've blurred mine and pretended I worked. I've even had partners create me an email address just so I could join the Zoom meeting and not like be RingLogix. But we'll role play however you want to, because like I said, when you guys win, we win too. So I never miss an opportunity to pitch RingLogix University, of course. If you're not signed up, please let me know and we'll get you signed up. Or you can go to the site and just hit the sign up button, and then an email comes and we activate it for you. But we're up to 70 plus courses. Always looking for suggestions on things you'd like to see in the university. So please let me know. I'm running out of ideas, and I get weird when I get bored, so I will get weird on you, but yeah, that's what we got going on. And we have time, we actually have like 7 minutes for Q&A. If you guys have any questions you want to put in the chat, feel free. I hope I was able, I think I opened it up, so we should be able to chat. And we have a Q&A thing. So I did honestly, I didn't like create any golf ball questions to ask in case nobody asked any questions, but Or if you're too shy, you can always email us later for sure. So
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
never a
see
dumb
any.
question. There's never a dumb question.
I don't really see everyone's being shy violets today, or they're already checked out and ready for Labor Day weekend. But
Which is not a bad
yeah,
idea. I'd be the same.
there's
That would be me for sure.
well, if there's no questions, we'll go ahead and give you a
Oh,
little,
yep.
not. Oh, do we got one? Oh, we got one.
No
Let's see.
questions. Almost, but very
Well,
informative.
thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. Well, if you do have questions, let us know. We'll give you, I mean, we're not giving you much of your life back, but we'll give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes is 5 minutes, right? So, but thank you guys for joining. We appreciate it as always. And if you need us, we're here for you. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.